Hello there. Welcome to the 75th episode of Split Focus, a film and TV podcast. My name is Simon Eady, and alongside me, I have my co-host and the captain to the Spider-Man No Way Home Firefly class hype spacecraft, Adrian Pinter. How does it go, sir?
General Kenobi. It goes quite well, my friend. How art thou, Simon Eady?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. I'm a little tired, though. I must be honest with you.
Are you a little sleepy, Gary?
Sleepy Gary indeed. Sleepy Gary indeed. You know why, Adrian?
No.
You know why? Well, let me tell you a little tale. Are you ready for a tale?
Tell me a telltale.
I will. The other night, not last night, but the night before, I haven't quite recovered. Couldn't quite get back to sleep.
Oh, no.
We were sleeping. We were sleeping in a bed, you know, as you do, not on the floor or anything. And
each their own.
In my home, at my regular home in Guelph, and all of a sudden, I'm awoken by the sounds of my dog's barking. He's in the room with us, and he starts barking, and then I wake up and I was like, what? And somebody's banging on the front door of the house at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. They're just banging on the door.
Really?
Yeah, are you intrigued yet? Are you intrigued?
I'm very intrigued.
And I'm like, oh my God. And when you're woken like that, when you're awoken, you're in this like deep slumber and you're just suddenly jolted awake. It's kind of jarring and you're kind of tired. And like, I went to bed late as it was. I think I went to bed at 1. And so I was like, I was in a deep, you know, I was in my REM sleep probably. I was just jolted awake.
Rapid eye movement.
Oh my God. Yes, rapid eye movement. Thank you. But I was like, oh my God. And I think I was dreaming about something else. I think I was dreaming about like living in the apocalypse. And I think I translated it as like somebody was coming to kill me in like my dream aspect. But anyways, regardless, I have a Ring camera on the front of my door, which I've talked about in previous episodes because of a different incident. But I think initially, do I have to go answer the door? But then I'm like, no, I have a Ring camera, you stupid person. I know you're tired, but let's get going. So I opened my phone, opened the Ring app. Ring, of course, is a doorbell camera company. And there's a man standing at the front of the door and he's still banging. He's just banging on the door. And he's trying to get in. Like he actually pushes the door handle to come into the house. And you can talk through the Ring camera if you're not aware. And so I start talking through my phone into the, you know, speaker on the outside. I'm like, excuse me, like what's going on here? Like, what are you doing here? Like we're sleeping. It's like 3 a.m. And he's like, I need my coat. I need my coat. My wallet's in my coat and my keys and I can't get into my house. And this guy's like pissed off. And we're like shocked. We're shocked. We're both jolted awake, my girlfriend and I. Again, we're completely kind of out of it. And my girlfriend's kind of freaking out because it's like quite frightening. This random man is trying to get inside the house.
Yeah, if that happened to me, I'd be like, what the fuck? I don't even have a Ring camera, so I'd have to like walk to the door.
That would be even worse. Yeah. I know. Thank God for the Ring camera is what we were thinking. But anyways, we were talking through this Ring camera.
I'm going to invest in one.
It's worth it, I think, you know, or one of the competitors, but Ring is pretty good.
I might do the Nest because I got Google products. But anyways, continue. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, so then we're like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? He's like, you have my coat. You have my coat. Is this insert my address here? I'm like, no, dude, we don't have your coat. He's like, were you at the Manor tonight, earlier tonight? Sorry for the viewer, the listener out there. The Manor is a strip club by night and a church by day. Just for context.
Yeah, here in Guelph, Ontario. That's a real thing, not even joking.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Anyway, but yeah, we were not at the Manor, you know, truth be told. I came home from work at about 8 o'clock and I didn't go to a strip club afterwards. But anyways, he's like, That's
what you were telling your girlfriend.
Well, she was with me the whole night. So unless I like slipped out like some kind of an alter ego superhero. And my alter ego is I go to strip clubs. My name is Magic Mike. Yeah, that was stupid. Anyway, regardless, this guy's standing outside and he's screaming about it. And he's like, I have an AirTag. I have an Apple AirTag. That means it's got to be in your house because it says your address on my Apple Find My app, which is, you know, the AirTag. Again, context for the listener. The AirTag is basically a tracking device that can basically track any manner of thing. And he obviously had it somewhere in his coat. And he assumed that means that he can just knock on anyone's door in the neighborhood. By the way, the air tag is not specific. It isn't that specific. So if it says an address, that's like, I don't think that's true. I don't think it is. I think it gives you a range. He must have been drunk, honestly, but he also just came from a strip club at 3 a.m. So it's not that unlikely. So I basically rebuttal to him like, dude, I do not have your coat. We did not go anywhere. Got here at 8 p.m. and we didn't leave the home. So there's no way that we have your coat. But he was relentless. And I was like, you must leave. And my girlfriend literally chimes in, we are calling the police if you do not leave the premises at this very moment. And then he's like, oh, okay, I get it. It's just inconvenient. I'm like, yeah, we work in the morning, bro. Just get off the freaking property. And then he's like, well, is there guys who live at your house? And it's like, no, leave. And of course, it has to have been our next door neighbors who we have a long string of misdemeanors with. They do stupid things all the time. They pee on the front tree of the house as an example. They steal stop signs and cross the lawn. Yeah. Again, you need context. Listen to our other episodes of Split Focus. But
you put down poop in strategic positions.
Yes, so that they would step in it, so that they would stop walking across their lawn and triggering the Ring camera like every day. It was so annoying. But they stopped, actually. They did stop, which was great. And it was mainly because of the poo, because one of them stepped in it. But anyway...
well played.
Yeah, it worked out. But regardless, it was pretty frightening. And then he's like, which way do the guys live? Because we basically tell him that the guys live next door, this group of people that he's looking for. And I'm assuming they did take his coat because that's something that they would do. I mean, it's possible they didn't, but it had to have been them who stole a stop sign and also on a different night stole a man's jacket. And so we told him, I said, yeah, you just go right. It's the house on the right. And then I'm like, but no, sorry, my right, your left. And then he spins around and he looks like he visibly looks at his hands to figure out which one's right and which one's left, like literally on the ring camera. And then he goes left. So he went the wrong way. And I'm like yelling after him. I'm like, no, dude. No, my right. I'm a camera speaking to you. No, you're and he was already gone. And then he went to the neighbors who are not those people, and he knocked on their door, yelling at their door, and we could hear him not only through the Ring camera microphone, but just listening through the closed windows. He's like banging on these people's door. And then they answer, and they're like, "No, it's not us. We didn't go to the manor." It's like, Jesus Christ, man. Imagine just knocking on like anyone's door just because you're looking for your damn coat.
Yeah. We've all been there, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. Anyways, that's my story.
That's a wild tale.
It was frightening as hell.
Yeah.
It was frightening. If the door was unlocked, it would have been way worse. Like, what would have happened if the door was unlocked? Would he have wandered around my house just looking for coats? Would he look through every closet in the home? Would he just be upstairs looking through my underwear drawer? Like, is he deranged? Why would you try to let yourself in? There's no outcome in which that works out because the air tag could be anywhere in the vicinity.
Yeah, that's wild, man. I know, I have weapons in my room. I have a machete next to my bed as well as a knife, like a Bowie knife.
Wow.
And then I have a sword.
Okay, that's useless.
At the end of my staircase.
Okay.
So
the sword is for show. Let's be real.
Yeah. Okay, Simon, if I swung that sword at you, it would hurt. Maybe it wouldn't kill, but it would hurt. It's not sharpened, but it's a big sword.
You can't swing it. You got small corridor hallways.
If I stabbed,
if I
punctured.
It's like a long sword.
I could puncture. It's a Jon Snow's sword from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
What is it called? White Claw?
I'd say the knife is easier to use in this context.
I would do the knife, yeah. I would stab him 1,000,000 times. Bathe in the blood of my enemies.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Our laws, though, like stand your ground or whatever in Canada are not as crazy as in the United States.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like you'd go to jail for like defending yourself from a crazy intruder.
Which is so stupid. I feel like that, I don't know. I'm on the state side for this one. I feel like you should be able to just kill people that go on your property. I think that's
I don't know about that. I think you should be there's like a happy balance type scenario because there's lots of instances where that's a very abused.
You can break their limbs, but you can't kill them. How about that? Is that
fair? You can assault them, but you can't murder them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can cause serious physical damage.
A balance is what's needed Because again, that kind of lenient law that is in some states in the U.S. It seems like it's too lenient in some states. And
well, don't be walking on people's property. It's easy.
Yeah. But what if your AirTag says that your code is in someone's house? Then obviously you can just go in. Just walk into the home. It's fine.
Yeah.
It is. I think that's a new law, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
They just passed it in California.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They did.
The home of Apple passed that law. Anyway. It was frightening, is my point, and I couldn't get back to sleep very easily after that because I thought that man would come back. But we watched him drive away before we settled back into a slumber.
I would have followed him home and then just banged on his door. I would have waited like an hour, let him fall asleep, and just start banging on his door.
Wait for him to fall asleep, then bang on his door, and then when he comes to answer it, you drive away.
Yeah. No, I'd be like, "Where's my coat?" And you just walk into his house, start looking for your coat that's not there. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, were you at the manor? You just do a straight up Uno reverse card on him. Just do the exact same thing he did to you.
Yeah.
That'd be good. That's what I would do.
Yeah. It is smart. It is smart. But alas, I was tired and I did work in the morning. I wasn't lying.
That's fair.
I had a long night at the manor, so I was very, very tired. No, I did not go to the manor for the record.
Yeah, fair enough.
There was no manor going that night.
Yeah.
Crazy though.
That's a cool tale. I like it.
Yes. A little stressful, though. A little stressful. Mm-hmm. Much like the strained relationship between Will Ferrell and Adam McKay. Wouldn't you say?
Oh. Yeah, man. Yeah. So it came out from what I think you have it written here. Yeah, Deadline. That the Will Ferrell Adam McKay relationship split wasn't as amicable as they said it was. So they had a production company, which was called Gary Sanchez Productions, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. It's literally on the screen. I can just read the screen.
Yeah,
but
it is.
Yeah, it's called Gary Sanchez Production Company, and they essentially shut down that production company between the two of them. And when that happened, they mentioned that, oh no, we're still friends, blah 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 blah. But in reality, they're not friends anymore, and that's very heartbreaking to me.
No, it doesn't appear so.
Yeah, because Will Ferrell, Adam McKay, I think that combo they made so many amazing comedy movies that are literally just so it's defined my childhood. It's defined my sense of humor. Anchorman especially. I still quote Anchorman on a daily basis almost. And yeah, just reading this whole situation, it really bummed me out. I think the main issue with it from that article was that Adam McKay is making an HBO Lakers TV series or whatever. And there was the coach of the Lakers, I guess, Jerry Buss or whatever is the name. Will Ferrell really wanted to.
Also written on the screen.
Yeah, thank you. Will Ferrell really wanted to play that role. It was one of these roles that he was just eyeing for years, and he made it known. But for whatever reason, Adam McKay decided not to go with Will Ferrell and instead hired another longtime collaborator and also a friend of Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly. For the role. And unfortunately, McKay, he even mentions that he did the wrong thing. He didn't talk to Will Ferrell personally, and the casting, I guess, leaked or was announced. And Will Ferrell, for obvious reasons, was very upset about that. And apparently he said something along the lines of have a nice life when they were discussing the ending of their Gary Sanchez production company partnership.
Which is crazy.
And yeah,
it's a crazy thing. I think it's proof is in the pudding of communication is the key to every relationship, no matter what. Friendship, girlfriend, boyfriend type scenario, husband, wife.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Any marriage.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. Yeah.
But they did not communicate very well, and obviously it broke down. Although, to be honest, what I think started it as a catalyst is McKay was initially branching off to do more drama before this kind of went downhill. And Ferrell's just traditionally done mostly comedies. And I think almost exclusively, I guess, The Shrink Next Door excluded. There's probably other ones that I can't think of, but it's funny now that this story's coming out now. Although the reason why that's happening is because Don't Look Up, Adam McKay's next film is coming out to Netflix next week, I think.
Isn't it Christmas? I thought it was Christmas.
I don't know. But we should look that up because I feel like otherwise we'd be announcing it on the new releases segment of this show. I thought it was this week.
Oh, yeah, it is December 10th. Yeah.
Let's check the document here to see if you've added that.
I didn't.
I'm going to guess no.
Okay.
Good. Well, good we caught it early.
No,
anyway.
Okay, no. It's December 24th.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, okay. It's on Netflix. I know for a fact I wouldn't have missed that. However, once I get to the new releases, Simon, there's some info that I gotta drop on you because, God, it's a whole mess. It's a whole mess. It's a whole rigmarole. A lot has changed. But anyways.
Okay. But yeah. The point was he started to dive more into drama, McKay did. And as a result, that kind of strained their relationship as collaborators, at least, because Ferrell wasn't really going that way. And then it seemed McKay kind of got maybe a little too ahead of himself, and that I think he got a lot of critical acclaim for
The Big Short.
The Big Short, thank you. And then he was working on Vice, and Ferrell wasn't really involved in either of them. So.
Yeah.
But it's sad. And the quote here that I really wanted to say is McKay said of their relationship, "The whole time we were doing Gary Sanchez, I was saying, I don't care what happens so long as this company doesn't fuck with our friendship." Which is sad, isn't it?
It is very sad. Because again, I love like what they did together. Like, again, Step Brothers especially. Like, God, man, I quote Adam McKay movies all the fucking time. Like, those movies have such a special place in my heart. I think they're some of the funniest movies around. That duo. And yeah, again, this is very heartbreaking to me. It's like an end of an era. To be fair, this era has been kind of over for a while, but just kind of seeing it, come to light, like that their relationship is actually over and that we probably won't get another comedy with them is very unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad. Like McKay wouldn't think to potentially do both, maybe.
Yeah,
but oh well.
Yeah, well, that's life.
It is what it is, I suppose.
It's too bad indeed.
Yeah, Adrian, I'd like to jump into some show corrections from last week, episode 74 of Split Focus, a film and TV podcast. I said something kind of stupid.
Yeah, you did.
And it was in a write-up, so I read it, which is even dumber. Mm-hmm. And you didn't also catch it, which, it's kind of on you. But anyways, regardless, I said The Usual Suspects was the movie that... Sorry, I didn't. That was the opposite. I said The Unusual Suspects was the movie that Kevin Spacey stars in, instead of The Usual Suspects, which is clearly the name of the movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dumb. So that was dumb on my part.
Yeah, so that was our mistake, is like you said. Because you said I'm kind of to blame because I didn't catch it. So
yes.
Like I said, your mistakes are my mistakes are your mistakes. It was our mistake.
Okay.
And there was another mistake we both made. And that was that the Deadpool dudes, I mentioned for the YouTube original show Wayne, that was canceled, unfortunately, that the Deadpool dudes either like wrote or created it. I was wrong. They only produced it, unfortunately. So
I feel like also last episode you didn't know their names, and I filled that in, and this time you also didn't know their names.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Wernick and Reese, I believe.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Yeah. The writers of Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
The Deadpool dudes.
Yeah.
So specific.
Thanks.
That's what we do here on Split Focus. We're so specific. We're incredible.
Mm-hmm. We are.
Or as you say, Pacific.
Yeah, we're so Pacific. Not to be confused with the Pacific Ocean, of course.
Do you say Pacific when you're saying specific because as a child you couldn't say specific properly and so it's an ongoing gag for you? Or did you get that from somewhere? Like, what's the origin of you saying Pacific? Like,
I don't know. I'll be honest. I have no recollection where I got that from. I definitely didn't do it. I don't know. I always do like play on words all the time anyways. Like I like doing puns and just mixing shit up and just pretend. I do all the time, Simon. I do all the time.
On this podcast or?
On this podcast and in real life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and in real life,
Excellent. All
and
right.
I don't know. Like I'm sure I heard it somewhere before. Like I must have. But maybe I just said it naturally. Who knows? Doesn't matter.
Okay.
But I do say it. Yeah.
That's fair. Let's reach into the mailbag for a moment here, shall we? Okay. We ask our listeners to write into us with comments, questions, and corrections by way of Twitter or by email to splitfocuspodcast@gmail.com. And Kenneth Stadelbauer, longtime listener, longtime writer-inner, Kenneth Stadelbauer wrote into us and he said, "Dear Adrian and spoilery makes spoil, son."
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, which one am I?
Yeah, that's a good joke, man. I said that a couple episodes ago. I'm liking that you're bringing it back. I think you're Adrian in this case, and I'm Spoiler McSpoilson.
The most logical answer. Anyways, he continued in his email. Hi, guys. First, thank you for letting me know how the Madrigal family gets their powers. I was afraid that I'd have to go to the theater and watch Encanto to find out.
What?
I should have known that Simon was a little sus when I saw him sporting a t-shirt that said, and he's got a list here, it was his damn sled, and in brackets 1941. He was wearing his dead mom's clothes, in brackets 1960. These appear to be some kind of spoilers from various movies. Anyways, he continues. It was Earth the whole time, from 1968. Everyone was guilty from 1974 and 2017. He didn't kill him. He was the father from 1980. He was dead the whole movie from 1999.
Oh, I know that
He
one.
wasn't the grandfather. He killed the grandfather from 2017.
I don't know what that is.
Audience, you can play with these as you may. You can listen back. Which movies is Kenneth giving the spoiler for these particular years? You tell us.
I know, I think 4 of them.
That's great.
Out of the 6 he posted, 7 he posted. I know the 1961. Do I say it or no?
No, don't say it, because that would be the irony. So let's just give some context. Kenneth Stadelbauer works, I work alongside Kenneth Stadelbauer, and Kenan came up to me and said that I spoiled Encanto in episode 73, which I did not. Because the thing I said on episode 73 was in the beginning of the second trailer, like in the first 5 seconds. And I don't think Ken remembered that. And so as a result, I showed him, or I was about to, but he said, I don't even want to see it. I was going to show him the first 5 seconds of the trailer for the thing that I spoiled. I talked about the candle in Encanto, which is not a spoiler because, again, it's in the trailer. We will not spoil things on Split Focus, a film and TV podcast. We will talk about things if they were in the trailer, and that's kind of where we draw the line. We will do our best not to spoil plot points because we care about that. We care about you, audience. We care about you and your love of movies. So, anyways.
In Candle. You didn't acknowledge when I said it the first time.
Yeah, it's good.
Thanks.
It's like a play on Encanto and Candle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's extremely clever.
Thanks.
Wow. What would I do without your jokes? Can we call them that? Or
yeah, we can. Thanks. I don't know. You would just talk to yourself. This would be a very weird conversation because you would just be saying things and there would be no one replying to you.
Yes. Yeah, that's probably true.
Very true.
I feel like I don't know that many of these, but I do know them. It's yeah, it's weird. In terms of his hints, I mean the spoilers here. I think I'd have to take a closer look at these to really get it. I think I've got 3 or 4 of them, but obviously he was dead the whole movie. I think we both got that one.
Yeah. He didn't kill him. He was the father. That one's obvious.
1981. Yeah, that one's obvious.
That he was wearing his dead mom's clothes. That's an obvious one too. At least for me.
Is it?
Yeah.
You'll have to tell me after the show. I feel like I know them, but I don't know.
You want me to text it to you?
Sure.
Okay. Are
you going to do it right now, like live? Are we doing it live?
Fuck it. Let's do it live. I just texted it to you. It's that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyways, let's move on. Here's one more comment at the end of his email here. He wrote, on a more serious note, are there any characters from the Netflix Marvel series that you would or wouldn't like to see make the slide into the mainstream Marvel Cinematic Universe? Signed, Kenneth, and a quote here, life is not a fairy tale. Not everyone deserves a happy ending. A quote from Wilson Fisk. Adrian, are there any specific Marvel characters from the Netflix Marvel series, which were supposed to be linked to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that you'd like to see hit the prime time Disney Plus series, or perhaps the movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe from Disney?
Yeah, I feel like we kind of talked about this before, but I would 100% like to see the main cast of Daredevil go in. So like Charlie Cox as like Daredevil, Karen Page, Foggy Nelson, and Wilson Fisk. I like all 4 of them to be like join in.
The question about that too is, if they were to bring them in, would they be using the past stories of that Netflix series of season 1, 2, and 3? Would they use that context to have those characters in the like a new show or a new movie? Or do you think that they would end up just using the characters and the same actors and not actually use the history that they already have? That's my question. Because those are the ones, obviously, that I would love as well. That's the main ones. I could take it or leave the other characters.
I don't know. I really want Jessica Jones. Like I really want Jessica Jones to join in, played by Kristen Ritter. And then, I could take or leave pretty much everyone. I really like Luke Cage as well. Like I think it's Mike Coulter, I believe. Michael Coulter. Yeah. Like I think he does an awesome job.
Sure.
Like playing the character. I could take or leave Iron Fist though. Especially now that we have
he did
Shang-Chi.
an okay job.
He's he's okay. Like it's just he was easily the least interesting of the bunch. Yeah, I would argue. But
I feel like it was the least good put together TV series. Mm-hmm. Although people seem to like the second season, I didn't actually jump into it because the first season was kind of the weakest of the four.
For sure. I agree. But I don't know. I think I talked about this a little bit, that I think that they might just kind of pick and choose what happened and what didn't happen.
How do they do that, though? There's a question. Like that's the problem, is how confusing could that possibly be for those who have actually watched it? Mm-hmm. The picking and choosing, that's a weird situation. And I don't know.
It would be difficult to do, but like at least for Daredevil, I would want them to bring pretty much everything in, because I think Bullseye, like if they brought in Bullseye as well, who is like the villain of season 3, which
season 3 is amazing.
Yes, it's the best. Yeah, for sure.
It's got two villains, and they're both very compelling, and they feel. I think Ken actually was telling me in person. He was saying that honestly, Vincent D'Onofrio's Wilson Fisk is arguably, in his opinion, the best Marvel villain he had seen recreated in live action before. Who was it that he said? Oh, I can't remember now. But he was saying it's one of his favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe villains that's ever been created so far, and that is very, very deep and like has a compelling backstory. And so I love the way they handled the backstory, though. I just love how well it was done. Mm-hmm. So like to remove the shared history between these characters, I don't know. I wonder what that would mean. But
yeah, because like for Jessica Jones, I didn't bother with season 3 because season 2 was such a letdown. But like I would like them to, bring in that element of like her with the Purple Man, like from the first season, and like kind of bring in that history, that like at the very least, have her dealing with that trauma that she dealt with back in the day and everything. Like I would want that to go forward. And with Luke Cage, I did watch both seasons, and I don't know, I feel like you could relatively easily like continue that story going in. I don't know, like I feel like ideally they would bring in or like continue some of those stories, or at the very least reference that they've had. But I almost just choked on air, or at least let them happen. Or wait, what was I saying? I just lost my train of thought entirely.
Reference. You said would.
Yeah, reference that they happen, but not necessarily continue the storylines that were happening. If that makes sense. Like you don't maybe you just do like a slight time jump. Like okay, that plot thread is now wrapped up. The only one that I would like to see continued realistically is the Bullseye plotline with Daredevil season 3.
I just don't get the idea of picking and choosing, though. Like some pretty big stuff happened by the end of season 3, so you'd have to.
Well, that's what I mean. Like I would like.
You can't just use Bullseye's plotline and then not address where Wilson Fisk is currently.
No.
I just think that part doesn't really work.
What I'm saying is I would like them to continue the whole Daredevil arc. Like I would want that one to continue. But again, I could take or leave the other 3 because I never watched season 3 of Jessica Jones, nor did I watch season 2 of Iron Fist.
It's just weird because I would have thought Bullseye would not have been interesting as a villain.
He's so cool.
But he's just so well done in that Daredevil series. Like he's just, oh man, I just love that. I love that 3rd season so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm looking up who that actor is because I feel like I haven't seen him in anything else. Trying to think. Wilson Bethel.
Ooh. But yeah, one of my coworkers just actually finished watching Daredevil season 3.
Cool.
Well, he binge watched like the 3 seasons because he just asked me for like a show recommendation. I was like, it ends on a cliffhanger kind of, and we don't know if it's going to continue. But like Daredevil is so worth watching, so he binge watched like all 3 seasons. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about the Punisher as well, like John Bernthal's Punisher.
I really liked the first season, but it wasn't well reviewed, and I felt that was odd.
Mm-hmm.
I don't quite know why.
Season, though, to be fair.
Oh, there was a second season? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Oh, you know why? Actually, I realized. I stopped watching these shows because they canceled them. They announced that they canceled them before they launched the last seasons. It's like, is that a good idea?
No.
Because I just thought, well, they're not actually going to wrap these storylines up. They didn't announce that they were wrapping them up, really. Mm-hmm. So I was like, it's okay. Then that's fine then.
Yeah.
They're just going to be mediocre end seasons if you're not going to, and I don't know. I felt really, it made me feel really weird about them, which sucks because the numbers, I'm sure, for the viewership probably went down because probably a lot of people felt the same way I did. Which I feel like that's maybe why you didn't watch it either.
That's exactly why I didn't bother with season 2 of Iron Fist or season.
And then they're probably like, "Oh, good. I guess it worked out."
Or I guess season 2 of The Punisher as well.
Guess it works out that we don't have Marvel properties anymore because people stopped watching them anyway.
Yeah,
it's like no, I think it's the other way. It's a chicken and the egg issue, but I'm pretty sure it's because you canceled them and you announced it so clunkily that's why this happened. But anyway, I digress. Yes, Daredevil is my priority. Vincent D'Onofrio, I would absolutely love to see him in a Spider-Man movie.
Me too.
it'd be so cool.
Or in one of these Marvel series I know that they're doing like an Echo TV series, which they
puzzles
announced.
Me.
Yeah, they announced on Disney Plus, and her character was introduced in Hawkeye, and in the comic books at the very least. I don't know about this universe because obviously, we don't really know if the Netflix universe is part of the main MCU. But in the comics books, at least, Echo has a lot of ties to Kingpin, and he actually trained her and stuff like that. So, if we were going to get Wilson Fisk back, it would be either in that show or possibly through Hawkeye. But I don't know for sure.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. She's intriguing in Hawkeye to me.
I like her character so far in the
Me too.
Hawkeye series. Episode 3, they kind of did a really cool, the first, I want to say 5 minutes of the episode. It's almost like a history of that character and how she grew up and everything. And I was very intrigued. And if they're going to kind of flesh that out more in her TV series, she's also just neat. She's a deaf, I guess anti-hero vigilante type character that's just badass. Yeah.
The thing is, I think if they tie it into Wilson Fisk, then it could be very interesting. Mm-hmm. But I guess I don't know enough about her character to really see the amazingness that show can be yet. But yeah, it could be cool. It could be cool. We'll see. We'll just see how Hawkeye pans out. For me, Hawkeye's amazing so far. I watched episode 3. I'm sure you did too.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just loving it. I think it's awesome.
Me too.
I just think the direction, the tone, because of Christmas, it's really, really cool. So I'm very excited to see where that goes next.
Yeah. There's an action scene in episode 3 that is just so awesome. It's like a car chase scene. It's wild with Christmas music blaring. I'm really loving it too. I think this.
Yeah, the car chase is incredible because it's almost one shot and a large segment of the way it's shot. They have a revolving camera inside the vehicle and it's spinning around 360 degrees. It's extremely well done. And even the shot, the fight scene in the kind of warehouse. Also really, really good, in my opinion. There's something it kind of the show in a way that it's done and the fact that there are these one-shot kind of fight scenes, it's kind of reminding me with New York being a character in the show. It's reminding me most of those Netflix shows, actually, funny enough, just because of all of those elements and the focus on the fight choreography that went into Daredevil and went into Iron Fist and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones to some extent, but mainly, especially Daredevil. And again, New York being a character. So I am really loving that show for what they've done with it. I honestly think that fight scene, that whole episode of what's in that is arguably the best. I'm trying to think now if there's better fight choreography in the way it's shot or a better chase scene in a Marvel series so far. And I think no. I honestly think that was the most well done in terms of choreography. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
I think you're right.
There's just not that many opportunities that we've seen them do that anyway.
The only show that had that really focused on fight scenes, to be fair, was Captain Falcon and the Winter Man. And really there's only the one fight scene. I think it's the beginning of episode 5 that I really like. It's in that kind of warehouse and it's just Bucky and Falcon beating the living shit out of what's his name.
The rest of that show, it felt like kind of the fight scenes kind of pale. They pale. Yeah. They're not that exciting. They kind of forgettable in a way. And I really don't forget the episode 3 for Hawkeye. So
yeah,
although it's fresh, it's a little fresher in my memory, but at the same time, I don't remember talking about the fight scenes in any of these shows as particularly amazing.
Yeah,
so far, especially not WandaVision.
Yeah, I think we actually talked poorly of the fight scene because there's like a fight scene at the end of the series, and I was like, ugh, it's my least favorite part of the show.
And just to be clear, I'm not an Echo hater, okay? I don't have enough perspective.
You
it could be really cool.
Deaf people is exactly what you said.
No.
Yeah.
No. That could be no. That is an interesting perspective, and it's coming off a little bit like, in a way, it's giving me like Sound of Metal vibes in the way they're kind of doing it, and I think they're doing it really well with that regard. With like Jeremy Renner's Clint Barton, kind of dealing with hearing loss as we talked about last episode, and the connection with him and Echo. Actually, it's very interesting. I don't know if you saw this at all on your feed at all, but apparently both Haley Steinfeld, who plays Kate Bishop, and Clint Barton, aka Jeremy Renner, they welcomed Alaqua Cox, who plays Echo, because she's deaf in real life. Like they actually welcomed her with ASL. That's awesome. Like American Sign Language to the set, and she was very nervous. It was her first acting job ever, or something like that, or first high profile one. And so I thought that was a really, really cool story that they learned, like certain phrases. I don't know if they learned complete ASL necessarily, but I don't know. I thought that was really heartfelt and a really cool idea. And she basically said something along the lines of like, it's clear that Marvel and Disney is like serious about diversity and inclusivity in their series. And I think so far, especially, they've done it in a very seamless way in this series again. And that's what I always love, the seamlessness of like not drawing too much attention to it, just kind of having it in it. Even like in Eternals as an example with, I can't remember the character.
Lauren Ridloff,
but the character's name is escaping my mind.
Ooh, I don't remember.
Lauren Ridloff's the actor who plays the speedster. I don't know.
Makari.
Yeah, good call. All right, Adrian. What else have you been watching this week? So you obviously watched Hawkeye. What else have you watched this week?
Do you want to talk about the thing that we both watched together?
Let's do it.
House of Gucci is what we both watched.
I believe it's pronounced Gucci.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's why they were saying it like that in the movie. I was very confused.
A lot. They'd probably say that at least like 25 times. Gucci.
Oh, I thought it was just their Italian accent.
Have you ever watched the movie 8th Grade?
Yeah.
You know when she says Gucci?
Yeah. God, it's so cringe.
That's what she's referencing.
Oh!
I know.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's why she doesn't say Gucky.
Oh, okay.
You learn something every day, Adrian. You learn something every day. But yeah.
I thought she was just making fun of Italians and how they pronounce Gucky, but I guess I'm wrong.
You are. Anyway, let's move on a little bit. House of Gucci is a Ridley Scott directed film. And I just feel like Ridley Scott, and I said this a couple weeks ago, he's got such range, yeah? Like, he's just gonna he does sci-fi one week. He does like a medieval piece one week. He does a 1980s, 1970s type drama comedy type situation with House of Gucci the next week. You know what I mean? Like The Last Duel didn't come out long ago, and he's working on a Blade Runner and an Alien TV series right now. The man can do it all, Adrian. He can do it all. What did you think of House of Gucci?
I think he can do it all, but not all well.
Oh, don't love House of Gucci. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm being very harsh right off the bat. I actually really like this movie. I think House of Gucci is like a good movie. I quite
What
like.
is that referencing then? What does he not do well?
I don't know. I just wanted to say it, okay? I just wanted to say it.
Oh.
Okay.
I
thought it was a good opportunity. But I don't think this movie is anywhere close to perfect. I think there's a lot left to be desired in this movie. I think what this movie does well is how well the movie itself, I guess, was cast, and how well the actors do their job and play their parts. But I feel like the story itself, as someone that doesn't really know anything about like the House of Gucci and like what happened and that whole rigmarole, I was left a little bit confused. I think there's a couple of like big time jumps where I was like, what? Like, it almost like didn't even show when there was a time jump, because this movie takes place over the course of essentially 30 years, from like the early 60s to the mid 90s. And
pretty sure it starts in the 70s.
Is it the 70s?
Pretty sure.
I thought it was like the mid 60s. Whatever, doesn't matter. It takes place over a couple of decades at the very least, and again, there was like a couple time jumps where I was just kind of confused as to like where we were in the timeline, and like, you know, what happened to specific characters, and you know, I feel like it was a little bit I don't want to say rushed, but it almost felt rushed, like the plot, some of the plot points. And I felt like this movie could have been longer, even though the movie itself is already 2.5 hours. I almost feel like this movie would have been served better as like a mini series, that they could have fleshed out the characters' relationships a little bit more and why specific characters' relationships were falling apart. I know this is based on like real events, but I would have liked to see why these two characters are, you know, slowly falling out of love, not just essentially being like, hey, okay, one, you know, they're everything's amazing, and then all of a sudden it's just like a time jump and it's like everything's awful between the two.
I did not find that at all.
Oh,
like,
no?
I fervently disagree. I think I don't.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't see like this shift suddenly of a time jump and then they fell out of love. Like there was it's a pretty like it's one thing after another and they're not feeling it anymore, or one of them isn't and the other is. I don't know. I found that they did that. I saw it before my eyes. It's funny. It's also funny that you said it's too short, because my girlfriend said it should have been an hour less.
Oh,
so I don't feel that way though. I kind of, there's some exceptions to that. Like I don't want to watch a 5-hour movie necessarily, because I think just shorten it down. But I find that most movies can be really long and I just don't care. So I definitely didn't think that it needed to lose an hour. Mm-hmm. But I didn't in this case think that the pacing was off either. Like I got the context and I don't think I know the story that well either. I knew the basis of the story, and that I feel like a pretty major point in history potentially for this like scandalous situation. But I don't know. That's an interesting take though. I like hearing your take that you thought that they didn't show the relationship breakdown enough for you to feel invested. Basically, that's what you said, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I was almost left disappointed. I was like, why? Like, what happened? Like, I wanted to see why they almost, you know, were falling out of love with one another, or at least one of the characters were falling out of love with the other person.
I do find it as obvious, but okay, I guess agree to disagree.
And like, I can like see your point. Like, there are little hints and nods, but I just feel like it was very quick, at least for me. But again, I think the acting between and the chemistry on screen between Lady Gaga and Adam Driver's so good. Like it's really good. Yeah. And maybe that's why I was a little bit disappointed, because I really liked them when they were together. Again, this is based on a true story, but I thought their chemistry together was so top tier that when it just kind of crumbled all down so quickly, at least for me, I was left a little bit disappointed. I was like, I want to see this relationship kind of fall apart a little bit more. I want to see a marriage story, you know, fall apart. They should have just put in marriage story, that entire plot in this halfway through the movie.
Right. Yeah. The acting for sure is a standout though. Like you mentioned the actors acting choices and the casting and all that. Like I feel like Lady Gaga and Adam Driver were really, really, really good. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I haven't seen Lady Gaga in anything other than
A Star Is Born.
A Star Is Born, and she was amazing in that. So Adam Driver is kind of amazing in everything he's been in that I've seen. I don't think there's a single thing that I'm like, well, he could have been better in that movie. No, I really think that he was really, really good. And he kind of falls into his roles to a point where, again, I kind of stopped seeing Adam Driver fairly early on and everything. And then there's like the other actors like Al Pacino and Jeremy Irons, who I thought were also amazing, and they're kind of legendary actors in their own right. And then there's Jared Leto.
Which is, okay, I've said a couple times on this podcast that I don't love Jared Leto, but goddamn, he was amazing in this movie. He was unrecognizable. I didn't even know it was Jared. Like, I knew it was Jared Leto because of, like, I knew he was supposed to be in this movie, but goddamn, he was on another level. I was like, this guy is an amazing actor. I can't deny that. I just don't like his like personality, I guess, outside of acting. But yeah, I think he added a lot to the movie. His character, Paulo Gucci, I think he added a lot of levity to the movie. And this movie is like a comedy. I would argue there's a lot of like really good laughs, and a lot of that comes from his character. And again, it's just, I was shocked at like the prosthetics and the makeup and everything with him, especially. It was just, I was shocked. Like when he came on screen, I was like, God damn, like, cause it looks literally nothing like him at all. What did you think of that, though?
I liked it. I don't know what it was. I really liked it. I agree with you. It is a comedy. And I think Ridley Scott has called it a comedy as well. Mm-hmm. And there's like, I feel like moments throughout that make it even look like a comedy that don't have Jared Leto in it. But Jared Leto was a lot of the comedic relief in some way. Yeah. The one thing, though, is I don't know why I couldn't stop seeing Jared Leto, though.
Really? Oh, my God.
It's weird, and I don't know what it is. It bothered me, and I'm like, I was trying to analyze myself and trying to find out why I was seeing it, because his eyes, I just saw his eyes, and I could hear his voice distinctly. I don't know. I don't think it's his fault. I think it's my own problem. I've seen him in so many things, and I think he did a good job. Like he did a good job. He was almost a little bit too exaggerated in some of his actions. I argue maybe, but I feel like maybe that's that character, and it did lend itself to a lot of the comedic relief. So I personally think I trying to look outside myself. I'll say that he did a good job. I think he did it. Like I think everyone in the cast was really good, and I very much enjoyed pretty much the movie as a whole. Yeah. You said like at the beginning, like it was like far from perfect. Yeah. I don't know. Is there such, I have a hard time almost like picking out like a perfect movie in general, like as a
Blade Runner 2049.
But is
Anchorman.
Is anything really perfect though? Because it's,
yeah, I know.
I'm saying because it's like art. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to really point out perfection. I have issues with plot holes. I have issues with that, especially in certain movies, and it bothers the hell out of me. And like really bad CG can take you out of it, and that's my big thing. Obvious. And then there's incredibly great things where like it's standout things, like a standout performance from Jared Leto or Adam Driver and Lady Gaga, and we clearly point that out. But I don't know. Yeah, perfect is kind of, I don't know. It's the eye of the beholder, I guess. I don't know. It's an interesting situation. I just thought that it was paced pretty well, and interestingly, unlike a movie that really loves subtitles throughout the movie, Resident Evil: Return to Raccoon Town.
Yeah, great movie.
That movie uses titling throughout constantly and almost too much, and weird different fonts a lot. That was my problem with it. And I mentioned that last week on episode 74. But I think that this movie didn't use subtitles. It didn't use titling very often at all. And I found that I wasn't confused. But I feel like maybe you wanted the titling to understand the time jumps. So I think we might have a different perspective. But I thought that the non-use of titling in a lot of aspects of the film, it was very sparingly used. And I kind of appreciated that choice as director, as Ridley Scott made. So I don't know. I appreciated that, but maybe you disagree on that one.
I do. I feel like I would have gotten more out of it, because like there are like scenes where like years pass where I'm like, there's definitely time that's passed, and I don't know. I feel like I would have enjoyed it more, or gotten at least a little bit more out of it if I just saw the titling a little bit, just like from Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon Town. I just feel like this movie, I feel like Ridley Scott can learn a thing or two from Johannes Roberts. And make a better paced movie. Personally, that's just a me thing.
Like the hit movie 47 Meters Down.
Yeah, that movie's not good. I don't like that movie.
Yep.
But
all right, Adrian, I recommend this. It's drama filled. It's comedy filled. I thought it was very entertaining. Was it the true story? I feel like the Gucci family disagrees quite a bit. I think actually Tom Ford also disagrees as well, who was the creative director for Gucci for a long time. Yeah. Until I think 2010 or something like that.
There was a year.
What do you mean there was a year?
There was a year that he stepped down.
Yeah, there was. And then he started Tom Ford. Maybe it was 2015?
I don't know, man.
It might have been 2015. But it was interesting that they went into the Tom Ford kind of years too. But I guess they had to, because it was like an overlap with the story they were trying to tell. I didn't know that story overlapped. And Tom Ford's an interesting guy. You know, he's directed films as well.
I did not know that. No.
Yeah, Nocturnal Animals with Amy Adams is directed by Tom Ford
and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
I've been meaning to watch that. Yeah.
I digress, Adrian. What else have you watched this week?
Ooh, Simon. So I started a show. It was recommended to me by one of my coworkers, who's like she I've been recommending like movies and TV shows to her, and she's recommended some back to me. And one of the like I mentioned that I've been meaning to like kind of jump back into some anime, and she just mentioned that she finished watching an anime TV series that was called Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's the title.
That is a title of an anime series. It's on Netflix that I myself decided to start watching. So I've watched only one episode. I only watched the first episode. I watched it yesterday morning while I was at the gymnasium on the stair climber. So I was like, I got to watch something while I'm on the stair climber, Simon.
Right.
And
very important.
Yeah, I watched the first episode, and so far, I really like it. It's a short show. I think there's only 13 episodes, and it you know, it's just. That's the series. And she said that like the payoff itself is like fairly good. And that she just recommends it as like almost like a slice of life, like cute sort of anime. And it's about, you follow this guy. I forget his name. I don't remember any of their names. The show's in Japanese with subtitles, but it follows a guy that, you know, just goes to school. And one day when he's in the library, he sees a girl walk through the library wearing a bunny girl costume. And the girl that's walking through the library in this bunny girl costume is actually like the celebrity. But for whatever reason, nobody in the library except for him sees her. And, you know,
I'm sorry, Adrian, what the hell is a bunny girl costume? You got to give some context.
It's like, it's a, what do you mean? It's a costume where she's kind of dressed up like a bunny.
Why you have to add girl in there? It's a girl.
Because it's a bunny girl costume. It's like the ears with like the tight suit, little pom-pom, but it's a bunny girl costume. Just Google bunny girl costume. It'll pop up.
Okay. So you're saying I'm the minority. Everyone else
you're the minority.
who's listening to this podcast would know what a bunny girl costume is. I just don't know. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay. Carry on.
Anyway, so yeah, like, you know, and for whatever reason, nobody else sees her. So he like, you know, follows her and talks to her a bit. And, long story short, in this first episode, she just mentions like they you know get to know each other a little bit more as the show or the episode progresses, and the next day, you know, people like see her obviously, and again she's like this former childhood celebrity that just kind of like stopped acting like only a couple years ago, and he's, you know, kind of talking to her about this stuff, and then she just mentions that like one day she like woke up because she really hated being noticed by everyone. And one day when she was walking outside, no one recognized her and no one even noticed that she was like there. It's almost like that her like dream came true, but it only happens like one day a week sort of thing. So to test it out, she just puts on a bunny girl costume, because if people are going to notice her, they would definitely notice her if she's wearing a bunny girl costume. So it kind of just like sets in stone that people won't recognize her, if that makes any sense. I feel like I'm doing a bad job explaining this, but
yes.
So, you know, long story short, there's a thing that they briefly talk about in this first episode called Puberty Syndrome. And it's that when some people hit puberty, they can gain almost like a
bunny girl costumes.
No, not bunny girl costumes, but like not necessarily powers, but like some of their wishes can come true. And most people don't believe in it.
And her wish was to have lots of bunny girl costumes.
No, her wish was to not be recognized by everyone.
Ah, right. That makes sense.
But yeah. But as a result of this puberty syndrome, she is actually slowly fading more and more into not existing, and people aren't recognizing her and don't even remember that she was ever alive, except for the one main character. So he's essentially just trying to write down in like his diary to make sure that he never forgets her. And it's kind of like this, like a fledgling sort of love story between these two characters. And it's kind of just progressing from there. And then, you know, like the first episode ends with, I guess, them like setting up for a date in episode 2. And
oh, exciting.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a very cute anime. The name is awful. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, me just even bringing up Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, I'm like, oof. And when she like mentioned it, she's like, trust me, the name is bad. It's an awful name. I didn't even want to tell you about this. I just really like the show.
Kind of seems like a porn name.
It does a little bit, but again, I'm really enjoying it. And again, I feel like I didn't explain this all too well, but it's cute. It's like this cute anime between these that follows these like two characters mostly, and they seem to be going on a love story. And I don't know what it is about anime that, follow love stories, but I just have a soft spot for that. Like, I love love stories in anime. There's something about it that I just feel like a lot of the times it knocks it out of the park. Like Your Name, which is one of my favorite movies ever, is like a beautiful love story anime. And even Weathering with You, which is the kind, not really a sequel to it, but it's by the same director, Makoto Shinkai. And then there's an anime series that I really love called Angel Beats, which is like a love story that takes place in purgatory. I don't know. Like, I just really like that. And I was just in the mood for something like this and a little bit more lighthearted and cute. And so far, so good. I'm going to continue watching. And again, there's only 13 episodes and I'm really into it so far. And I like this idea of this girl that was a super famous celebrity slowly fading into non-existence while a guy is trying to make sure that he never forgets her. Yeah.
Okay.
Does this show interest you at all, Simon?
No.
That's fair. I totally get that. And I've watched one more thing this week that I feel like I've brought it up on this show before, but I've just been rewatching it a bunch. And it's I Think You Should Leave, which is a Netflix original like sketch comedy show by Tim Robinson. And it is the funniest thing online on Netflix. It's so good. Every single...
Is it still going? Is this a new season?
No, season 2 came out either earlier this year or like late last year. I've already seen the show like multiple times, but I've just been
watching it again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because like, I don't know, it's so goddamn funny. And I've been, I don't know, I've been in the mood that I need more uplifting things. I need to be laughing more and everything like that. So this show is definitely doing that for me. And again, like it's, goddamn, this show is like the funniest fucking thing. Like, around, like every single sketch is just 10 out of 10. There's so many ridiculous things that happen in every sketch, and again, it's one of the most quotable things. I've been constantly quoting it again, and again, I highly recommend this show. Did you watch I Think You Should Leave? I feel like you watched the first season, right?
I didn't see it. In fact, no. I got to the very end of the other show. What was that show? The Australian
Auntie
show?
Donna's Big Old House of Fun, which I love.
Yes, Auntie Donna's Big Old House of Fun. I got to the end of that, and I somehow didn't. I got distracted. I think because the PlayStation 5 had just come out, and I was just really excited with the PlayStation 5, and so I stopped watching too many shows around that time, and so then I didn't finish it. But I think I was on the last episode.
Oh,
so I should probably finish that first before I get into another sketch comedy show. But
yeah,
alas. I did not see Tim Robinson's I Think You Should Leave.
So good. So good. But yeah, if you're in the mood to laugh a bunch, I highly suggest you check it out.
All right.
Yeah.
Noted.
What have you watched?
That is noted. I've watched a couple things. I finished Season 2.
You mean Season 2?
Yeah, sorry. Damn it. I botched it.
You did.
Anyway, Season 2 on Apple TV Plus, the show where Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa go head to head when they're blind and their whole society is blind in an almost medieval type environment where they fight with swords. I don't know if I did that justice in the explanation, but regardless,
I think you did.
It's Season 2. They're kind of brothers, Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa, but they're going head to head because they live in two different like kingdoms. Anyways, so they, it's cool. It's kind of great in the terms of its fight choreography. The production values are top notch. They're shooting on location. It seems like almost every moment. And if they're not, they're doing a really good job with some kind of green screening or maybe that kind of Mandalorian type screen. I don't know, but it's to me, that aspect is phenomenal. The acting's okay. The writing is not good. I don't think we're going to watch Season 3 if there's a Season 3.
That's fair.
I'm sorry, I gave it so many chances, but it's made so many weird choices. And I wish we watched it together. I wish you watched it as well because, you have Apple TV Plus as a subscription, and it would have been nice to see your perspective. And the fight choreography is worth it for the show potentially to make it okay. But I just think that the plot points are holes. A lot of the time, they didn't think things through. The aging of characters is nonsense. Like, people age up like 30 years and they barely look like they aged today. Like, they just completely forgot about that. It's very unusual the way that it's done in some regard. Like, again, the writing and some of the choices characters make seem to go against what the character would have done in previous episodes. Like, they almost like flip between seasons. It just... frustrating as hell because it's got so much potential. I don't think you thought that it had any potential for some reason. You thought that the skeleton or the concept of the show was not good, and that's why you didn't watch it. I think the skeleton, the concept of the show is great, actually. I think it's a good concept. It's cool. It's neat. But you have to execute on that concept, and I don't think that they have, in my opinion. But kudos to the production designers. Kudos to the costume designers. Good old Bear McCreary did the music, who's done various shows and movies like, The Walking Dead, God of War, that awesome video game from PlayStation. Sorry to Ken for talking about video games.
Every time.
But ultimately, it's not the greatest show.
Yeah. So season 2, like the finale of season 2, because I remember you were literally on the last episode. You talked about it a couple weeks back. Is the finale good? Like, is it work? Like is it a satisfying conclusion to season 2, or is the writing just too bad to really make it satisfying?
It is satisfying in some aspects, but then there's writing in it that just doesn't make sense. Characters make choices that just don't seem to add up. And you're just left wondering why they're making these choices. I just don't get it. And again, my girlfriend and I just kind of look at each other when they say these dumb lines or make these dumb actions, and we're just like, what? Why did they do that? It just doesn't make sense based on what they would have done. It's not like what we would have done. Like, I'm pretty tolerant of letting characters be their own characters. I just don't think that the character that was written in season 1 would have changed that much between season 1 and season 2. And they're kind of making actions for plot convenience to make drama. And I don't believe that is the greatest. So, yeah, take it or leave it. I would probably leave it. There's so many good Apple TV Plus shows. There's too many shows that are so good now. But one thing for sure you get in every Apple TV Plus show is amazing production values. I've yet to start one that's not really, really, really well done on the actors hired at least for it. Like the production design, the music, the costume design, it's really good. The makeup, etc. But anyway, so I'll leave it there for season 2. Yeah, fair enough. I'll move on to the last thing I watched this week, and I just finished the first episode, part 1, and that is The Beatles Get Back by none other than director Peter Jackson, Adrian.
Oh,
yeah.
That's cool. That's on Disney Plus, right?
It is. It's on Disney Plus. And honestly, I love this so much. I really like this. It's just very long is the only criticism I have of it, but it's like you couldn't really make it shorter. So it's not really a criticism because it's just what it is. Peter Jackson had to sift through hundreds of hours of footage and audio, like video and audio, basically. And he compiled this thing where he kept knocking it down, apparently. He knocked it down to 18 hours of footage, and then he knocked it down to eventually 8 hours. And he just couldn't take anything else out, according to him, because it felt like a crime against rock and roll. I think those are the words he said. Oh, okay. But this is about the Beatles in 1969. They're rehearsing for this live performance. And this live performance, it's arguably the last Beatles thing ever. This is like the making of their last album, and you're kind of like a fly on the wall watching this group kind of disband, which is kind of crazy. And there's all these rumors of why the Beatles broke up in the first place over the years, and this is kind of the footage that really shows what really happened. And it was locked in a vault for years, and no one was able to use it. They were going to make a documentary years ago, but I think because the band chose to break up, they locked it away in a vault and said that no one can use it. And until finally they, I guess, approached Peter Jackson, and Peter Jackson just couldn't say no because he's a huge Beatles fan. Yeah. Did you hear about the series? You must have.
I did hear about it. It's a 3-parter, correct?
It is a 3-parter, and I think each part gets longer than the last because it is an 8-hour show.
Okay. Interesting. So how long is this? Did you only watch the first episode, and how long is it?
We did, and we broke it up over a couple days because we just didn't have the time to do it all in one sitting. And so we watched a huge chunk, I think an hour and a bit in the first sitting, and then we ate a couple meals and watched the rest of the first episode. And it was like, I think 2.5 hours.
Damn.
Maybe 2 hours and 40. So again, it's relatively long, but it's funny. These Beatles, they're funny guys. It's the way it's shot is really well done in terms of giving context to what was happening. To sift through that much footage and create something sensical was arguably a arduous task. The way that the video actually looks so amazing for having been shot in the 1960s, and the way that the audio was re-engineered, and I think they used AI in some regards to remaster the footage and the audio to make it sound and look the way it does. And it really does look remarkable for how old it is. It's really cool. I have to say, like, I'm just so impressed how cool it is. It's so fun to watch. They're creating songs from this last Let It Be album right in front of you. Like it's nuts. Like you can see like the gears turning in Paul's head, like Paul McCartney's head, and seeing Paul McCartney, John Lennon, Ringo Starr, and George Harrison play off of each other is just like, it's like magic. It's like magic on screen. I can't recommend it enough. If you're any fan of the Beatles, I feel like that would be the reason to watch this. But it is very long, so you have to kind of be in it for the long haul.
Are all 3 parts out?
Yeah, all 3 parts are out as far as I know as of now.
Neat. Maybe I'll check it out.
It's really cool. But yeah, I'm curious. I wonder if this will. I don't guess it won't qualify for best documentary because it's not a film. Peter Jackson wanted to make a 2.5-hour film, but he just couldn't bring himself to cut the footage, and I can see why, because he was worried that if he cut it, like the rest of the footage would just go back into the vault and no one would ever see it again. And I think that is he felt that, again, it was a crime against rock and roll, and so he just didn't do it. But anyway, I digress. It's just really, that's the best thing I've seen this week.
Best thing I've seen this week?
Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. The title of your sex tape? Or
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
No, Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon Town. I went to watch it again.
No, you didn't.
Nah, I didn't.
It's just it lives in your memory. You just play it over in your dreams. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Yeah. Adrian, it's time to move on to the news, I think. I think it's time. No, we're moving on to the news. Oh, okay. Let's begin with a small collection of more focused stories that have been particularly pertinent this week.
Yeah.
Number 1, as followed by publication The Hollywood Reporter, Sony Pictures executive Amy Pascal recently sat down for an interview with a reporter from website Fandango, where she was certainly not shy to point out that Sony is looking to lock down actor Tom Holland for another Marvel-backed Spider-Man trilogy as soon as possible. Despite a lack of officially announced sequel trilogy plans, The Hollywood Reporter's sources claim that the Sony-Marvel partnership is arguably as strong as it ever was, with Kevin Feige, Tom Holland, and the Sony producing team in a very good place to continue their collaboration. We don't have to think too far back to a time in which the relationship between Sony and Disney Marvel was less than stable. After the success of Spider-Man Far From Home in 2019, Sony sought to end the Disney-Marvel partnership when negotiations for a contract extension ran sour. But the two thankfully worked out their differences later that year, with a little push from a presumably influential phone call between Spider-Man star Tom Holland and then Disney's CEO, Bob Iger.
The best Bob.
In reference to the upcoming December 17th release of Spider-Man No Way Home, Amy Pascal said, quote, "This is not the last movie that we are going to make with Marvel. This is not the last Spider-Man movie. We are getting ready to make the next Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland and Marvel. We're thinking of this as 3 films, and now we're going to go on to the next 3. This is not the last of our MCU movies." Unquote. Oh. Adrian, what are you making of this news about Spider-Man, my hype friend?
I'm so hyped, Simon. Honestly, like, I'm not surprised. Like, I know there was, like, the whole hubbub of, like, Tom Holland being like, oh, if I'm playing Spider-Man past 30, like, that won't be a good thing. Oh, I am Tom Holland. I'm British.
You know, he's apparently Southern. He's from Texas. If I play him Spider-Man past 30, obviously I've made a mistake, yeah?
Yeah. You know, like, he was saying that, and, like, in my mind, I was like, yeah, he's just saying that shit. Like, he's going to just trying to get money. Like, Sony and Marvel are not going to let this die. They're going to throw a bunch of money at him, and they're going to continue this series because this, I mean, hell, man, Spider-Man, this is the one with the multiverse. It, like, broke ticket sales records. Like, it sold more tickets in pre-sale. Pre-sale tickets, sorry, than Avengers Endgame did. And we're in the middle of a pandemic. Like, they'd be out of their goddamn minds to end a partnership like this. So I'm not even remotely surprised that they're continuing this. And again, there's a little, like, hint or nods that, you know, Tom Hardy's Venom is going to be, like, kind of folded into, you know, like, meet up with Tom Holland and everything like that. Like, they're not going to let
the 2 Toms.
The Tom squared. And I'm not surprised about this. And it's just so obvious that they're going to do this. And what I'm really hoping is that in these next 3 movies, maybe it's going to be, you know, Peter Parker in college or whatever. You know, we're going to see that sort of grow up, and I'm sure they're going to start planting the seeds for a Miles Morales live action character as well, which I would be very excited to see. Especially since today they actually released, the day we're recording this, which is December the 4th, they released a teaser for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse or whatever.
Right, yeah.
Which is the sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And apparently that's a part 1 of 2. And, you know, like just seeing that, I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot.
Is that a Beatles reference, actually?
I don't know.
Because I got Beatles on the brain here.
Maybe. It's possible.
Across the Universe, Across the Spider-Verse?
Yeah, it's possible.
Because there's a movie called Across the Universe as well as obviously the song.
Yeah, it's possible. I wouldn't be surprised. Because of like the heavy influence of music on at least that first movie. Although
they didn't use any Beatles music in the trailer, so
that's true too. But again, yeah, like that trailer was pretty hype. But yeah, I'm not shocked by this whatsoever, and I feel like this was a fairly obvious thing that was going to happen. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I thought it was obvious too. We talked about how it kind of felt like Tom Holland was a little bit naive in his speech. Mm-hmm. Like the way he was speaking about, you saying again the thing about, if I'm playing Spider-Man by the time I'm 30, I've made a wrong turn.
If I'm playing the Spider-Man past the age of 30, that's his accent.
And he was kind of talking about he seemed like he was like, this is the end. This is the end of the whole Spider-Man trilogy. It seems like they're not making any more or whatever. And it's like, did you even talk to the people who hired you at all? Like, it just seemed like he didn't. Again, it just felt like the Uncharted situation. Like, Nathan Drake has a very stoic character. Like, no, he isn't. No, he isn't. And I don't know. So it seemed like this was obvious. Like, again, it was going to be obvious that this was going to sell an enormous amount of tickets because this has been hyped for literally months. People thinking that Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield are all going to be in the same movie together. And I wonder if that's not going to happen still. Because if it doesn't, imagine the internet's fervor, Adrian. Imagine at this point, knowing that they beat pre-sale ticket sale records. Mm-hmm. It seems crazy that could happen. I'm just going to throw this into the ether, Adrian. I want to throw it out there. We talked about previously Spider-Man No Way Home. It's teased now 5 villains, and notoriously Spider-Man has the, faces off against the Sinister Six. Mm-hmm. The villain that could be missing, I feel like it's not Venom. I feel like Venom is being teed up for a different movie. I think. What about Mysterio? I'm just going to put that out into the ether. Just throw that out there.
Bringing back Jake Gyllenhaal, baby. I could see it.
Yes, Mysterio, fishbowl head. Mm-hmm. I think there's a chance, and I don't want to spoil anything. I'm not going to talk about what happened in Spider-Man No Way Home. Sorry, Far From Home. I get those confused.
Yeah, me too.
I kind of wonder if they should have changed, picked a different name, but they had to put home in the the title.
God, I'm confused as fuck. But or plot twist, because in the Raimi trilogy, in Raimi's Spider-Man 4,
yes, they
were going to have Mysterio show up to be played by none other than Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Who plays cameos in the first 3 Spider-Man movies. And he was supposed to be like
all 3 Sam Raimi movies.
Mm-hmm. And he was supposed to be Mysterio in the 4th one.
Yeah.
So, plot twist, maybe they just bring in Bruce Campbell and he plays Mysterio.
That would be interesting, but I do think that the master, I don't know. The one that they teed up, I think that they actually have Jake Gyllenhaal. They've had him in a movie. It makes more sense. Whether that means he's coming through from an alternate universe or whatever it may be, I think it makes sense. It makes sense because Mysterio is, I'm pretty sure, notoriously a part of the Sinister Six as well. Although I feel like almost every Spider-Man villain might have been in the Sinister Six at one time.
It's possible.
But I think that makes sense. Yeah. It could be a mastermind behind kind of
a mastermind
running the show in some capacity. Yeah. And we're just not seeing him because,
he's a master of illusion, Simon.
Because you almost think you won't see him because we already saw him. So would we see him in this movie as well? We don't know.
I would like that.
We'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. So
maybe it's Morbius. Maybe Morbius is the 6th villain.
Imagine it was Morbius. Imagine it was Morbius instead. Or What about Vulture?
Or Scorpion. They set up Scorpion in the after credits scene of Homecoming.
They did, but I feel like they didn't set him up enough. I think Vulture, like Michael Keaton was brilliant. And like even in that Spider-Man game, sorry to Kenneth Settlebauer if we're talking about video games, but the Spider-Man Sony PlayStation game where they really did the Sinister Six in very, very well and spoiled it actually, and literally spoiled it in the trailer, which is pretty stupid.
Similar to this second trailer of
basically. What a stupid.
I made that connection. I was like, God damn it.
What a waste. What a waste. It was it's such a good trailer in some way, but it's like, you don't need any more hype. You just don't need it. Throwing the grenade in that first trailer, having Doc Ock's arms and seeing Alfred Molina was enough. We don't need the rest of it. We don't need the movie. We don't need the whole movie. We just need the simple trailer that would hype it up, and we already got that. So you really don't need another trailer. I'm just going to also mention, today is December 4th. We're recording this. They launched the Into the Spider-Verse trailer, the Across the Spider-Verse trailer on December 4th. Meanwhile, they hyped up Cyber Monday as Spider Monday. They called it Spider Monday, but instead of putting the Into the Spider-Verse trailer on that day, they decided to put it out on a random Saturday, almost a week later.
I didn't even hear about Spider Monday. What did they do for it? Did they even do anything?
What do you mean? It was at the end of the end of the trailer, the second trailer. They're like, you can buy your tickets on Spider Monday.
Oh yeah.
They went out of their way to say that it was that day too. They're like,
I forgot.
On November, I can't remember what day it was. November 29th, Spider Monday. Yeah. Why? You didn't have to do that. Come on.
But yeah, I bought us tickets real quick. The ticket buying experience
was awful.
Oh man, it was tough. I got really good seats, thankfully. Like, because I was talking to your girlfriend, because you and I never talk outside this podcast, and I wanted to go on the first possible showing, which is Thursday, but she works the next morning, and I know you work until about 7:30. So my time slot for buying these tickets was essentially, it had to be like after 8 but before 9 to accommodate both you and your lover. So there's really
after 8, great chocolate.
Yeah. After 8, great chocolate. Oh yeah, bringing that back. And so I bought tickets for like the 9 showing at the one theater, but goddamn, it took me like fucking 45 minutes because like the Cineplex app was just not loading, and it crashed the Cineplex app, which is nuts. I was
trying to get on there too around the same time. I was aimlessly doing it because, of course, we don't talk outside this podcast, so I didn't know when you were looking this up, but I was just trying to see like where the seats were, like, what the availability was. Couldn't even get on. So yeah, I also like to point out just briefly, Adrian, here, you never made a reference. There was never a reference to After 8 Chocolate on this podcast.
Oh, really?
No, I don't believe so. I think that was made somewhere else. It might have been. I might have told Jimmy a joke to tell you at some point. I don't know, but I don't believe we made a joke about After 8 Chocolate. After 8 Chocolate, by the way, if you're not aware, audience, I don't know how you're not, because it's great, is dark chocolate with mint in the center. Very good. Very good. I got myself a little...
Outriders. Now that I think about it.
What?
That was when we were playing Outriders. Like when you brought it up. I just realized.
Yeah. And I actually got myself a little advent calendar with After 8 Chocolates in it. And it's quite good. It's really cool. I don't know if that's been a thing that's been around forever, but for like the Christmas calendar where it like counts down the days to Christmas, they call it the Advent calendar. There's a lot of really cool ones now. Like last year we got Lindt chocolate ones, but they were okay. That was an okay calendar. But this year they have like Kit Kat, they have cookies and cream, and they have After 8. And I know, Adrian, you love After 8 chocolates.
I never had it. I don't like mint chocolate. I just don't like that flavor combination. Not for me.
Dark chocolate and mint.
I just don't like that combination, Simon. I don't put fucking toothpaste on my chocolate, okay? I don't want it.
Okay.
I don't want it. I saw this funny meme the other day. I was like Advent. Yeah, the Advent calendars are made for kids to microdose Christmas.
Yeah, it's kind of microdosing, isn't it?
I was like, that's fair.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it made me laugh. Anyways.
It is strange. There's a guy who I work with who literally has an advent calendar of beer. It's like a giant box of beer, and is like little doors that open up, and he takes like they're just different beers he takes out every day.
That's pretty cool.
He's a big fan of different beer. Yeah, it is pretty cool. Anyway, Adrian, let's move on to number 2, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're so willing. Number 2, As announced in an Apple press release, Gravity and Roma director Alfonso Cuaron is set to direct, write, and produce a thriller TV series for Apple's Apple TV Plus streaming service. The series will be called Disclaimer and will be based upon the novel of the same name by author Renee Knight. The original story follows a television journalist who happens upon a novel that appears to be based around a very specific and secretive aspect of her own life. The journalist will be played by Don't Look Up star Cate Blanchett, who will also be executive producing the series, while the novelist will be played by Beauty and the Beast star Kevin Kline. The series will be the first TV show to be both written and directed by Cuaron, who recently signed a multi-year deal with Apple. Adrian, what do you make of this new Apple TV Plus show?
Well, Simon, what I make of this is that you left out Alfonso Cuaron's greatest movie of all time, and that being Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Simon.
Yeah, sure.
Which is a great movie.
It is a great movie, and it may be the best. I don't know if that's a little bit of a bold statement, but it is a very good Harry Potter movie of the Harry Potter movies that exist.
Yeah. Deathly Hallows Part 1 is still my favorite.
I think so too. I think Deathly Hallows, it has these, man, the pacing in that movie is pretty divine.
It's premium.
I think in the Deathly Hallows Part 1.
I love that movie.
That dance scene with Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds playing, it's just, it's iconic. It's really good.
It is.
Yeah.
It is really good.
Indeed. But yeah, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? Not Harry Potter. This is not a Harry Potter movie. Come on.
Harry Potter podcast? Harry Podcast?
What are you referencing?
I don't know. I was just trying to think of something. But I don't know. I think that this seems neat. This seems like an interesting premise. I'm not familiar with the original story or this novel or whatever, but I think this is a neat premise, and it's cool that this is, I guess, Alfonso Cuaron's first TV show that he both writes and directs. I mean, he's an Oscar-nominated director, so this is like a pretty big get for Apple. Them signing that multi-year deal with him, and I don't know. This is definitely something I'll check out. I mean, you just talked about C and how Apple's production values in all their TV shows is top tier, and having someone that is a creative like him attached with like those high production values, I'm sure this is going to be a really great series that will, catch my interest. What do you think about this?
Well, Cate Blanchett is just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think her being the headliner of this series is amazing. And again, there's no expense spared in terms of like these TV series now. I just like, I don't know. You can have like a nostalgia kind of flashback to like 2004. You know what I mean? When Lost was coming out. And like before Lost, there really wasn't that many serial popular shows around that were like dramas that, we're going to be, built upon for season after season. You kind of had to watch every episode to understand it. And then it became, you had Lost, Heroes, and Prison Break. And as it went on from there, Breaking Bad came out. And then kind of the floodgates were open. And you have these like shows with Anthony Hopkins in it, like Westworld. And you got, in terms of Apple's floodgates, you've got the morning show with both Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston. It's like
or the Shrink Next Door with Will Ferrell and Paul Rudd. And
I know it's just there's no expense spared with so many of these series, or like even I think it's called Big Little Lies or whatever, with like a crazy cast.
Yeah, that's HBO though.
But even HBO is an example. HBO didn't have content quite like Game of Thrones prior to what Lost brought to the table. You know what I mean? Like that kind of was the start of the golden age of television, and now we're like, it's the rocket ship is, it's really it hit light speed. I feel like,
I mean,
in some of these series that are coming out,
like HBO did have stuff. Like they had, like Sopranos, and they had
they did, but none of those shows had like big name actors in it. They were kind of still television actors in some way, and then they kind of broke into movies like Gandolfini. I don't know how to pronounce his name now. He's an awesome actor who's in Sopranos. Yeah, the main character. Yeah, Tony Soprano.
Gandolfini or something like that.
I don't want to disrespect him, so I'm looking it up. Tony Soprano.
He passed away. I know that much.
Yeah, he did, unfortunately. James
Gandolfini.
Gandolfini. Damn, I don't think we're pronouncing that right. Why?
Gandolfini.
We're butchering it.
Gandolfini.
I apologize to anybody who thinks we're idiots who can't pronounce a basic name here, but
I don't apologize to people for thinking that we're idiots, because we are idiots, but I do apologize for mispronouncing the name.
Yeah, it is true. Yeah. It's a good point. Thank you for that save.
No worries.
Gandolfini. Damn it! I'm going to stop.
That seems right. Let's just leave it. Like, why did you go back to it?
you ever say a word a lot, and this is not like quite like that, but you say something, and it's just like you cannot get it right no matter what you do, and you know that it's wrong, but you're saying it. And then there's times where you're saying a word like just the same word over and over again, and you say it again, and you're like, that does not sound right at all. Like, there's no way that's how you pronounce it. Like a simple word like the just becomes foreign to you.
Yeah. The.
You ever had that?
Yeah, definitely.
It's weird. It's like a weird dissociative situation. Anyway,
yeah.
My point was floodgates are open. Apple TV Plus, they just they're killing it with these production values and the Foundation's a show that I kind of really want to see too. And again, apparently it's quite good. I think it's well regarded. I saw a bunch of like some creator. I can't remember who it was. I don't remember exactly, but somebody was on Twitter like a big writer or director commenting on how much they love the Foundation and how great they thought it was. So I don't know. I kind of really want to see that one too. But
me too.
Yeah, it's really cool that Apple's just kind of not sparing any expense in every one of these shows. Despite the fact that some of their shows are not the greatest, well written affairs, but it is cool, and I'm definitely going to sign up for this because honestly, I've seen everything I've seen that from Alfonso Cuaron has been really, really good. Like I really liked Roma as well. Gravity, as much as it kind of wasn't the most realistic science fiction type situation. It's really well shot. Like the cinematography in that is brilliant, and yeah, I enjoyed it, and I will probably enjoy this.
I hope so.
As much as I enjoyed Prisoner of Azkaban, the third Harry Potter movie. Mm-hmm. Adrian, let's move on to number 3.
All right, get on with it.
According to publication Deadline, Matchstick Men star Nicolas Cage has been cast as Dracula in the Universal Pictures monster movie centered around Dracula's henchman, Renfield. The Renfield film will be directed by Tomorrow War director Chris McKay, with X-Men Days of Future Past actor Nicholas Hoult set to play Renfield himself. Most recently, the farewell actor, Awkwafina, was also cast in an unknown role in the upcoming movie. Adrian, I feel like you're excited for this, but probably questioning it a little bit because of Chris McKay. Because I know you don't love Tomorrow War.
That's a bad movie. It's also just a movie, but it's just a bad movie, if that makes sense. But yeah, like we've talked about Renfield a couple of times.
What are you talking about?
You get it. Don't worry.
It's also just a movie, but it's also a bad movie.
Yeah,
are you referencing something?
Movie.
Is it like a line from something?
I don't think so.
Is that a line from The Sopranos?
Yeah, the hit TV series Sopranos that I never watched. But
with James Gandolfini.
Yeah. Why did you have to bring it up again?
I don't know why I can't say it. It sucks. I think he's a great actor too. Like he's awesome.
He was a great actor.
We should watch Sopranos. That's kind of come back in a big way because of the sequel and all that, or the prequel, I should say.
So watch it next year. We'll watch one season a month.
The Wire is another show that I really should watch.
Yeah. No.
You were thinking of, I know, but the problem is that what I was trying to say was that you didn't have any kind of big name actors. Like you're right, HBO was making quality for years, potentially prior, but they didn't really. They started to get to that mainstream level when Lost was coming out and everything was. It's all coming together as TV shows kind of were, again, a medium that was coveted by big directors or actors or, producers, etc.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going backwards here. Let's go forwards. Renfield. What are you thinking of Renfield?
I forgress. Instead of digressing, foregressing.
I think we still digressed.
Because we're digressing. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, doesn't matter. But yeah, we've talked about Renfield.
Double negative would be a positive. So
regressing.
I
gress.
We're regressing?
Fuck. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so we've talked about the Renfield movie a couple times on this podcast, but I just kind of wanted to bring it up because I love Awkwafina. I've talked about it multiple times on this show. I really love her, and I'm very glad that she's going to be in this movie. But I am just so curious how Nicolas Cage is going to play Dracula. I don't because the last few movies I've watched of Nicolas Cage have just been him being bananas. I watched the Prisoners of the Ghostlands movie, which I don't know if I talked about.
Bananas.
But yeah, bananas. Prisoners of the Ghostlands, a movie, which I don't know if I talked about it, but I watched it. That movie's whack. And he plays, again, a ridiculous character. I watched the one where he just beats up a bunch of robots. It's like that Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I forget what it's called. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, again, he doesn't say a single fucking word in the entire movie.
Willy's Wonderland.
Willy's Wonderland. That's what it's called. And, you know, like there's that Mom and Dad Netflix movie where it's him just trying to kill his kids. A bunch of these like movies. Like, and I don't know if I've seen him in anything that's a little bit more like tame, I guess.
Yeah. We watched that movie in theaters in Waterloo. Mandy.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. And just everything I've seen him in is just him going
so tame.
Balls to the fucking walls, dude.
What's wrong with that movie? That's extremely tame. You should take your children, audience.
No, do not. Jesus Christ. Why would you say that? But
don't take your children. Imagine there's somebody who stopped the episode right at that moment that I said that, and they instantly like, okay, we're gonna go. Yeah. And they go immediately and take their children to a movie theater to watch Mandy, which has been out for 2 years.
Yeah, I doubt it's in any movie theater, but if you
don't do that. Don't do that. It's bad parenting.
It is.
Do not let your children watch Mandy.
Yeah. Coming from two people that don't have children, that's bad parenting, and you should feel bad about it.
Yeah, we know. We're professional parents.
I'll raise your kid. I'll raise your kid better than you could raise him.
Whoa.
I'll do it.
Got some Godfather offers right here.
Yeah.
An offer you can't refuse.
Never.
That was awful.
I don't think that's a line in The Godfather. Never.
That doesn't even make sense in the context.
I never even watched The Godfather.
You haven't seen it?
No.
That's embarrassing.
You know what's embarrassing?
Uh-oh. What?
Your fucking life, dude. Boom, roasted.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry. That was mean.
You took a pause, and then that's what you came up with after the pause? After the pause, every second that passes, you have to, it almost has to like top itself. Like every solution to the answer that you're going to give. I thought you were just going to say at the end of the whole thing, but at least you didn't do that.
Yeah. Anyways, I take it back. That was mean. I don't mean it.
What would I do without your jokes, right? If you can call them that.
This would be nothing without me, okay?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, back to the thing we're actually talking about, Dracula's henchman Renfield.
Yeah, I'm just curious how Nicolas Cage is going to play that part. Like, is he just going to go?
Me too. Yeah. He's also got like a widow's peak, which I think is perfect for Dracula. It might be a perfect casting. This is supposed to be a comedy, isn't it?
No.
Right? It is. We got Awkwafina.
I don't think so.
It's about Dracula's henchmen. What? Isn't it?
I don't think so, man.
It's a horror comedy. That's got to be what they're going for.
Maybe?
Are you looking it up?
Yes.
Why are you asking me? I don't know what you're doing. We're talking across the world here, okay? This is over the internet podcast.
There's nothing about it being a horror comedy. I don't think
it makes sense, though. Am I crazy?
I guess.
You're saying, I guess you think I'm crazy?
Yes.
Why are you questioning everything? Stop putting question marks on the end of sentences.
I don't know. Question mark? Anyways, I'm just curious about this.
Yeah.
I can't find anything about it being a horror comedy. I cannot find anything about it.
It is interesting. I agree. I am curious as well. I'm curious. Yeah. I like Nicolas Cage.
Is he a good actor?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he is.
I don't know.
It's just he'll just take every role though.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what role they offer him.
Abed had a breakdown in season 5 of Community. He didn't know. He couldn't figure it out.
What?
Abed had a breakdown in Community. He couldn't figure it out.
I'm sorry. I thought you said he all but had a breakdown in Community season 5.
No.
I was like, what? Nicolas Cage was in Community?
Briefly, when Abed did a impersonation of him because it was very accurate.
You know what was
No.
Yeah, I remember what you were talking about. Yeah, he that was a good episode. That was cool.
Yeah.
But Adrian, I just realized something, and I completely forgot about this. Something I was very excited about for Brooklyn Nine-Nine is that Bruce Willis would be in it, and he wasn't.
Oh, yeah. They reference him so much.
They wanted to have him in it. They specifically, I think, tried to get him to be in the show, and they failed.
Yeah, I think Bruce Willis, like I've said this before, I think that guy hates his life. I think he wants nothing to do with anything in acting.
But he's taking these random parts and like really B action movies, though.
Yeah.
If you look at his like filmography recently, it's not stellar.
Yeah, I feel like it's just low effort, easy money. I think that's
Brooklyn Nine-Nine could have been low effort, easy money. He just had to show his face for like 1 second. Maybe they didn't even approach him. Maybe that's what happened.
Possibly.
Maybe it was a scheduling conflict. It's funny. I was looking forward to that for the finale, and when we watched it, I just completely forgot that was something I was looking forward to. Anyways, Brooklyn Nine-Nine audience, if you haven't watched it, you should watch it. It's an incredible NBC comedy with Andy Samberg.
Yeah, he's one of the many people in there. Terry Crews is also in there. Stephanie Beatrice is also in there, who recently starred in Encanto.
Indeed. Yeah. Sorry if that's a spoiler, Ken. Oh, man. Well, he threw so much shade at me, calling me Spoiler McSpoilerson or whatever.
I thought he called you Adrian.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Call me Adrian. Way to bring it back.
Yeah,
Adrian. Get it?
Yeah, I never watched Rocky either.
I don't actually remember that line in the movie Rocky, so when I said it, I really did it half-assedly because I'm not quite sure what it sounds like. Unlike my Jerry Seinfeld impression, which is spot on. Anyway, Adrian, let's move on to the montage, shall we? What do you think?
Oh!
Now onto the montage, a sequence of our show in which I briefly present the week's smaller news stories as Adrian delivers a brisk verdict. Number 1, as publication Variety reports, the Chucky horror TV series has been renewed by USA Network and Sci-Fi for a second season.
I heard this is actually really good. I was curious about watching it, but I didn't. So.
Number 2, as Variety reports, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom director J.A. Bayona is directing a plane crash survival movie for Netflix called Society of the Snow.
I hope there are dinosaurs in it. If there are, I'll watch it.
Number 3, according to publication Deadline, Magic Mike director Steven Soderbergh is set to direct Magic Mike 3, with actor Channing Tatum also scheduled to reprise his role as stripper Mike Lane in the sequel. The movie is planned as an HBO Max exclusive.
Interesting. Very interesting. I don't know why I didn't realize Steven Soderbergh directed the Magic Mike movies. It kind of piques my interest a little bit more. Steven Soderbergh making, the Oceans movies and stuff like that. And that one movie with Channing Tatum and James Bond, and Adam Driver. You know that movie I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it, though.
The Racetrack. Yeah, whatever, continue.
Yeah, it's another heist movie. Number 4, as reported by Deadline, director Paul Thomas Anderson's latest 1970s-based film Licorice Pizza has broken the pandemic-era record for best theater average gross opening weekend ticket sales. In other words, Licorice Pizza beat out the previous COVID-era record holder in Wes Anderson's The French Dispatch for most revenue made, on average, per theater during the recent opening weekend.
That's cool. I really want to watch this movie. But it's not playing anywhere near us until, I think, Christmas, from what I can tell.
I think that per theater average was just for 4 theaters in total.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I could be wrong, but...
Because, it technically released on the 26th of November. But,
yeah, it wasn't a very wide release as far as I saw. Yeah. I think it was like 4 theaters. Maybe they opened it up. Anyway, number 5. As Variety reports, network AMC's Annie Murphy starring comedy TV series Kevin Can Fuck Himself will end after its very recently announced second season.
Oh, okay. I never watched the show, nor do I know anything about it.
Apparently, it's about a woman who's stuck in a marriage in a sitcom. And she's like abused as the butt of the joke in the sitcom. And I had no idea that that's what that was about until I read this article. And I was like, what? This movie's about that anyway. It actually looks quite good, like a good concept. Number 6. As website NME reports, Netflix is set to release a 3-part Tiger King spin-off series about the antics of Big Cat Zoo operator Doc Antle on December 10th, 2021.
Neat. I honestly just didn't even bother continuing season 2 of Tiger King. I was just kind of like, I'm not too interested.
Number 7. As Variety reports, Carnival Row actor Cara Delevingne has been cast as an art insider named Alice in season 2 of the Hulu comedy Only Murders in the Building.
Nice. I'm very excited for that season 2 of Only Murders in the Building. I loved that first season. It's phenomenal. It's on Disney Plus's Star here in Canada and across the world, I imagine.
Number 8. According to Deadline, due to scheduling conflicts, Black Widow actor Scarlett Johansson will no longer be a part of the Dexter Fletcher-directed action comedy film Ghosted. Alongside Captain America actor Chris Evans, Knives Out star Ana de Armas has now been cast in Johansson's stead.
Oh, cool. I really love Anna de Armas. She's awesome.
Number 9. According to Deadline, Avengers star Kobe Smulders has been cast alongside actor Samuel L. Jackson in Marvel's upcoming Secret Invasion Disney Plus TV series. Smulders will reprise her role as Agent Maria Hill, while Jackson will play Avengers assembler Nick Fury.
Nice. I'm glad they're bringing her back.
Number 10. As Variety reports, the Will Arnett-hosted LEGO Masters TV series has been renewed by Network Fox for a 3rd season.
I honestly did not know what this show was and that it existed. I just looked it up. It's essentially people making crazy things out of Lego. It's a reality show. Pretty cool.
And that concludes the montage.
Bada boo Lego.
Oh, Adrian, what a day. I'm still tired.
You sleepy Gary, you.
I sure am a sleepy Gary. All right, Adrian, what do you got for me this week? What do you got for me?
Simon, I got new releases for you, and I got some bad news real quick. Okay?
Uh-oh.
So last week, I missed a bunch of movies that I didn't realize. I didn't add them on here. And the reason... Can you fucking stop? Jesus. And the reason I missed a bunch of movies, they were Netflix original movies. And it's because Netflix updated their app.
It's Netflix's fault.
And it is, okay, because originally the coming soon tab on Netflix would show you everything that was coming soon on Netflix. But for whatever reason, I guess they're curating it now, so it's not giving me anything. And I didn't realize that last week because I was like, oh, that's a very like short list of movies. And I was like, I thought nothing of it. And then I looked again this week and I was like, there's no way in hell there's only like one movie coming out. I was like, something's amiss here. Something's amiss, Simon. So I had to go to a different website to show me what's coming to Netflix. And that website is called what's-on-netflix.com.
Wow, it's a little on the nose, eh?
Yeah. So that's what I had to use. And then I cross-referenced what it showed me on this website with the actual Netflix app when you search the name of the movie coming out or whatever. And then it shows on the Netflix app that, okay, yeah, it's releasing this day. I'm like, why isn't it showing this to me? Because I missed a few movies last week. There's a movie called Mixtape or something, or maybe I did mention that. I don't remember. But anyways, I was just kind of like, I was disappointed because I was like, why did Netflix have to change it? I had a method to my madness. I used 2 websites, Apple TV and the Netflix app. But now I have to change it all.
Oh, you poor fella.
Yeah, I am, poor fella. So I was almost like, do I even do this section anymore? Because I can't see what's coming out on Netflix. But then I realized there's a website dedicated to tell me what's coming out on Netflix. So we're all good.
There's gotta be. There's so much attention on this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So much. Anyways, but this is for the week of December the 6th to December the 12th. That's a Monday to a Sunday, as per usual. And the first movie coming out this week is coming out on Monday the 6th. And it's a movie called David and the Elves, which is a Netflix original Polish Christmas family comedy.
Oh.
Again, one of these movies that didn't show up on the coming soon list, and I had to check out this website.
I see.
But anyways, then up next is a movie called The Scrapper, which is coming out on Tuesday, December the 7th, Simon. And this is confirmed by Movie Insider in the Apple TV app. It's a video-on-demand movie, and it's about a guy that scraps.
Okay. So he loves to cut out articles, cut out pictures, put them on various... in a binded book.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Cool.
And then the next day, that is not Wednesday, but it's the Thursday, the 9th. There's a movie coming out, and it's called Asukusa Kid. It's a Netflix original biopic about an aspiring Japanese comedian named Takeshi Kitano.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And the rest of the movies are coming out on the 10th, which is a Friday. The first one is a movie called Unforgivable. This is a Netflix original movie starring Sandra Bullock as she gets out of prison after her murder sentence, and she looks for little sister that she left behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Seems interesting. 2 is up next. TWO, the number 2. This is a Netflix original movie, and it's about 2 people who awaken only to discover their abdomens have been sewn together.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. It sounds kind of cool. Kind of want to watch it, I'll be honest with you. It's a Spanish movie, I believe. Back to the Outback is up next. And this is a Netflix animated adventure about dangerous creatures that aren't as bad as they might seem.
Yeah.
Anonymously Yours is up next, which is a Netflix original Mexican romantic drama.
What?
It's a Netflix original Mexican romantic drama.
That's not what it says here.
A romantic drama. Okay, aromatic. It says aromatic.
It's not even close to romantic. It's aromatic
right.
drama.
You're right. I messed that up.
It's very smelly. Smells good, I hope.
Romantic. Okay. I fixed it.
I hope
you got it.
The drama caused by the smell is
an aromatic drama.
I hope the smell is great.
Yes. This smell is too good.
It's not the smell of poop. It's the smell of lavender or
sulfur.
After 8 chocolates.
After 8, yeah. It's when we're recording this after 8.
Yeah, I just ate an after 8.
Just now?
Mm.
I didn't even hear you. Did you mute your mic?
Well, now is a relative term. Recently.
No, now means now. Recently means like...
Okay, so it just passed. Did I just eat it now? Just now? Just now? Just now?
Yeah, literally just now. Did you eat it just now?
You see, we can keep... No, because that would be impossible. What, you think my mouth is just full of chocolate?
You know what I mean. You God, you pissed me off.
It's all relative, Adrian. Now is a relative term.
You're a relative term.
Okay.
Still Out of My League is up next. This is a Netflix original Italian rom-com.
An Italian aromatic comedy.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to a Mexican aromatic drama.
Yeah, exactly. It's an aromatic genre. It's the newest genre ever created. Aromatic genre.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
I think, well, my girlfriend just texted me, "Are you done?" I think it's because we're basically just been shooting the shit for the last hour and really haven't seemingly had any structure to this episode of our podcast.
Yeah.
So
I've been having fun. Haven't you having fun?
No, I've been having a terrible time.
Oh, no, dude. Oh, no. I'm sorry.
I'm joking. Of course I'm having fun. Of course I am.
I'm joking.
Anyways, what kind of aromatic drama is next?
It's called Encounter, and this is an Amazon Prime Video movie. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's about a Marine that risks it all to save his sons from a mysterious force. I'm going to guess it's aliens, Simon.
Yes.
Yeah. Then next up is Being the Ricardos.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah, so, I didn't write the source. I think it was Movie Insider. Maybe it was m.the-numbers.com, the most reliable source on the internet.
I'm sorry, why are you announcing this year? I thought you only announced movies that are doing a wide release.
Okay, you know what? Let me just break the structure however I want to, man. This is my part of the show, Simon. This is my creative process.
You told me, I don't know if it was on this episode, on an episode of our show, but you told me somehow.
Well, I would have never talked to you outside of this podcast. Never have, never will.
Whatever. You told me somehow through a proxy, okay? But you told me that you would never show, you'd never put in this list. You'd never do it. You'd never put any movie that was not wide releasing into this list. You know what movie's coming out? Don't look up. It's coming out this week. And you said, no, I won't put that in the list. Even though that's the biggest movie coming out this week. Literally. If it isn't Being the Ricardos, starring like Javier Bardem and Nicole Kidman. You know?
It's Kidman.
Being the Ricardos, of course, being about I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
The TV series.
Yeah.
And the making of that show.
Yeah.
It's a biopic.
Yeah.
And it's coming out on the 21st.
Yeah, on Amazon Prime Video.
And is this week have the 21st in it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What day of the week is the 21st?
It's every day at 9 p.m. if we're using 24-hour time.
So just about after 8.
Yeah, just about after 8. Anyways.
What kind of nonsense are we making here?
I don't know.
This episode's...
But I'm enjoying it.
Okay, Adrian. All right. So there's no rhyme to your reason then. You just put Being the Ricardos in here.
There's no rhyme to my reason.
So it's limited theaters. Can we go watch it at the Waterloo Princess Twin Theaters, the indie theater?
I don't think so.
Venue.
I don't think so.
But why is it on the list? Okay, just keep going.
Simon, I don't know. Maybe because I would forget that it's coming out in the future. Maybe I just wanted to cover my anus and just be safe and make sure that I got it on this list at some point. Okay?
Yeah. I don't know about covering your anus. I feel like that is not a great term.
What should I say? Watch my ass?
Covering your ass, covering your butt, you know.
Yeah, covering.
It's just way more polite.
Yeah, okay.
Like you don't have to go right into the hole, okay?
Well, like, what am I doing? I'm just covering my butt cheeks when I say like covering my ass.
It's extremely. Like, it's not courteous.
I'm covering my ass, and I'm just covering the butt cheeks, leaving the hole wide open for.
No, because if you cover the butt cheeks, you would be covering the anus naturally. You don't have to give us the whole picture, okay? It's impolite. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, continue. Come on, man.
American Refugee is up next, and this is confirmed by Movie Insider and the Apple TV app. This is a video-on-demand movie about society that is collapsing and a family that finds refuge in their neighbor's bunker, but everyone must prove themselves useful.
Excellent. Next.
Off the Rails is what we've been. That's the name of the episode. We've been off the rails. It's not the name.
We have been. This is probably the most off the rails episode of Split Focus, a film and TV podcast, since episode
69.
74.
74 was last episode.
Yeah, that's the joke.
I feel like last episode we were pretty tame. I was pretty
tired.
We
were on the rails. I think we were on the rails. Yeah. We were pretty tired after Black Friday. You're right.
You had a little headache.
Was episode 69 off the rails?
Nice. We were going wacky. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Who cares? But Off the Rails, this is a movie that's confirmed by Movie Insider and the Apple TV app. This is a video-on-demand movie about 4 friends in their 50s that try to
creating a podcast.
Huh?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. That joke. Yeah. Again, say it again. Off the Rails.
Creating a podcast that goes off the rails.
Yeah.
Anyways, next movie coming out is called Agnes.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even finish what Off the Rails was about. But 4 friends in their 50s trying to create a Euro trip from their childhood, and then like one of the ladies are dying, and then her like 18-year-old daughter is like on the trip instead to fulfill her dying mother's wish or something like that.
Okay.
Anyways, Agnes is up next. It's confirmed by Movie Insider and the Apple TV app. It's a video-on-demand movie. It's about a priest and his apprentice that's got to deal with a nun possessed by a demon. Is the nun's name Agnes? Is the demon's name Agnes? Is the priest's name named Agnes?
It's possible.
Is the apprentice named Agnes? Is every character in this movie named Agnes? All of these are possible.
Is the apprentice named Agnes? Anyway, next movie.
The Hating Game. This is confirmed by Movie Insider and the Apple TV app. This is a video-on-demand movie about a man in the woman that work in an office. Fuck's sake. What did I write?
Can't even know. I don't even know what you mean.
It's about a man and a woman that work in an office together, not a man in the woman that work in an office together.
A man in the woman that works in a very aromatic office.
After 8. Continually try to one-up one another while slowly getting more and more attracted to each other. Will they bang? I already spoiled it at the beginning of this. A man in the woman.
Oh, Jesus.
The Last Son is up next. This is confirmed by Movie Insider and the Apple TV app. It's a video-on-demand movie. It's about an outlaw that lives with the knowledge of a prophecy that one of his children will kill him. So instead, he goes on a mission to kill all his kids.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, that seems pretty cool, actually. I'm into that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a bunch of children and then go on a mission to kill all of them. I'm not going to do that. It's ridiculous.
Oh, boy. Oh,
it's ridiculous. It would take so long.
Ooh.
Because I can't just like start killing them as babies. That's way too easy.
I was going to say like it's pretty easy, but it's very dark.
Yeah. Okay. American Sicario is up next. It's confirmed by the most reliable source on the internet, m.the-numbers.com and the Apple TV app. And this is a video-on-demand movie. And this is about the first known American Sicario.
Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy.
We'll call him Jimbo.
Yeah, he left the world of being a Sicario and became a production assistant on an unsuccessful podcast.
Yes. I wasn't actually referencing that Jimmy. I was just throwing in a Jimmy name there. But yeah, he was a hitman. I took pity on him when he got out of jail.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
He said that he wanted to be reunited with his little sister.
Jimmy?
And that's what the movie Unforgivable was based on, actually. And Sandra Bullock is playing Jimmy in that movie. National Champions is up next, and it's confirmed by Movie Insider and the most reliable source on the internet, m.the-numbers.com. It's coming to theaters, but not near us at the very least. But it says wide release on both Movie Insider and m.the-numbers.com, so it fits into my rule set that I've created for this show that is incredibly consistent. It's about students.
Yeah. Oh, man. If I know anything, it's consistent. Your rule set. Woo.
It's about students doing a strike before a big game to get compensation for the work they do. I'm pretty sure it's about football. I forgot to write the sport.
It's kind of important.
Yeah, I think it's football. I think it's college football because do people get paid for college football? I thought they just
soccer.
I thought they just get free tuition. You want me to look this up or do we care?
Soccer, right?
Yeah, like the European football.
No, you were talking about American football.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Should I check? I'm looking up the sport. Who cares?
I think maybe
it's college
they
football.
do.
It's college football.
Do they get paid? Now I feel like I don't know. I feel like they do get paid.
I thought they just get free tuition.
Maybe they don't. Maybe it's very profitable though for the organizations running college football, but I don't know. Yeah, you're probably right. You're not pro, so you probably just get a scholarship.
Yeah.
Do college football players get paid? No is the immediate answer that theguardian.com is answering here. So no, Adrian.
Oh, thanks.
I can't do this, Adrian, but just to set the record straight, do you want to just search up James Gandolfini's name just to make sure that we're pronouncing it even close to right? Because why don't we just do that?
We should have done our hit segment of our show. How do you pronounce this name?
I know, exactly. It's got a great name and everything, but I can't do it on my phone because
James Gandolfini.
Gandolfini. Is that how we've been saying it the whole time?
James Gandolfini.
Yeah, I think we have been. Gandolfini.
I don't know. We probably butchered it. Anyway,
I think we were saying Gandolfini as opposed to Gandolfini. I think we were putting too much emphasis on the F at the end of Dolph.
Perhaps I've got too much Peter Jackson on the brain.
That's possible because you watched that Beatles thing that he's creating. And he also made Lord of the Rings, where Gandalf is from.
Way to explain that.
No worries. That's what I'm here for. Context upon context. And the final movie coming out this week, Simon, is West Side Story.
Yeah.
It's coming to theaters.
Yeah.
It's a musical. It's a remake.
By Steven Spielberg.
Yes. And it looks good, and I want to watch it this week. Do you want to come with me?
Potentially, but we can't talk. You got to remember, don't break that rule, okay?
We never talk about this outside this podcast. That rule or which rule?
Yeah, that's the rule.
Okay, just want to make sure. I was like, did we make another rule earlier that I forgot about? It's possible.
Well, you made several rules about the new releases that you just keep breaking. So there is that.
I don't break them. I'm very consistent.
You don't follow the rules. You do follow the other rule about not talking outside this podcast, though. Of course, we would never do that. That would be blasphemy, madness, even.
Never have, never will.
Yeah. Anyway, Adrian, is that it? Is that all the movies coming out?
That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all, Simon Eady.
Wow. Well, this was an episode, wasn't it?
It was. This was an episode of something.
Yeah. It was. It sure was. Anyways, this is of course the end of our regular scheduled programming for this episode of Split Focus, a film and TV podcast. Adrian, do you have anything to add to our audience? Anything to say to our listeners before we let them live their lives?
I love you, listeners.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you for listening to me talk into your ears.
Is that it? Or
yeah.
Okay, good. Listener, you can write into us at splitfocuspodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Audible, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you could write a review on any of those particular streaming services that have an option for writing a review, please do so. It does help us quite a bit as a, unsuccessful podcast, as Adrian pointed out earlier in the episode. So thank you. Thank you for listening to the 75th episode of Split Focus, a film and TV podcast. My name is Simon Eady, and this is Adrian Penta. What the? Pinter signing off.
Pinter? I hardly knew her.
It's your own name.
I know. Oh, God, I'm losing it, Simon. And you know who else is losing it? Batman and Batman v Superman, which is a good movie.
Jesus.
It's a great movie, even.
It's a damn stretch.
Yeah. I love that movie. You know what other movie I really like? Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon Town, baby.
No.
That's a good movie. I stand by it.
You're diluting Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. Come on. Good night.
Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Take care. Goodbye.
Goodbye.